Image did become a fairly successful local production company in Pittsburgh. We did have a good list of clients. Rather than pulling assets and money out of the business, we invested in new equipment, more equipment, sound equipment, editing equipment, lights, that kind of thing. So we did have basically everything that we needed to make what we called a real movie. The icing on the cake was we got a commission from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to do tourist development films, and that required filming in 35 millimeter fall foliage, which here in Ohio and Pennsylvania drives a lot of commercial tourist business. They also wanted to film it in CinemaScope, widescreen, big screen stuff. So we had to film that in 35 millimeter. Most of our productions were in 16 millimeter. But that one project enabled us to buy the 35 camera that Jack referred to, and to film. We did, the series turned out beautifully for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but now we've got a camera, so there's no reason to not do a movie that we want to do.
There's a lot of you know, a lot of people always say, oh, Night of the Living Dead's a little 16 film, but it wasn't. It was shot 35, and the only budget constraint you guys had was black and white.
Well, wasn't it priced out both ways? Like, wasn't it like budgeted as a color 16 feature versus a black and white 35 early on?
No. It was. We did cost it out in color. We never considered shooting it in 16. We always wanted to shoot it in 35, and we did cost it out both ways. But it was that project that enabled us. Now we have everything we need to make a real movie. And then came, all right, let's pass the hat. We each ponied up $600. That got us from 10 people, and that got us $6,000 on our first step toward making what was Night of the Living Dead. It was entrepreneurial in the most bare bones kind of way that you can imagine. It's also something that is really important for anybody who is interested in writing, film, whatever it is. Once the idea pops in your head and you start to work on it, you must finish it. It took 30 production days to film Night of the Living Dead, and we broke that into two 15-day blocks because we had to take a break in the middle of production of our first feature film, to satisfy our commercial production clients. If we had not filmed the second 15 days, we would have had half a movie and no one would have ever known of Night of the Living Dead. So the lesson is, if you've got an idea, if you've got a creative gestalt moment, by all means, finish it and see where it all takes you. And that's exactly what happened to us. We finished it to the best of our abilities, and frankly, it has taken us 50 years. Who could have ever imagined?
Yeah, now you guys bounced around ideas and kind of stuck with a horror theme pretty much for commercial and marketability, didn't you? I mean, like, we want to sell it, so
yeah,
we know we can sell it.
Be good. Yeah, but the other thing is, the important thing along with what Russ said was that we were really, by that time we had become a really tight-knit and very accomplished film production company. And, you know, Gary is, I still say, one of the best location sound engineers I've ever met, but a good mixer and everything. Everybody, you know, every TV commercial, every industrial film, every film of any kind, no matter how small, TV spot needs to be scored, it needs to be cast, it needs to be propped, and locations need to be found. Every film is, and the TV spots had to compete with the best that was out there. They had to be accepted by the client and go on the air. So I'd say in the first year and a half I was there with these guys, we did literally dozens of films of all types. And so when Night of the Living Dead came along, everybody knew what to do without even any discussion on it. And everybody could wear many hats and get the job done. So I think we were all on the same page from beginning to